they have to be more careful in that. Then the vigilance of the tax planning and benefits, because there are many tax benefits which are happening all over the world with the stimulus packages and the government tax benefits. So the accounting staff has to be aware of those stimulus packages and that are being launched to take advantage of the tax planning. So and sometimes it may require them to update their financial reporting process, because they may have to change and the accounting standards are changing. So they may have to be aware of those changes to update the chart of accounts, update the process of accounting, updates the way you are recording the expenses, so that you can take the advantage of tax planning. And then there has to be a prompt response and changes of thus announcements to take advantage of these new stimuluses, whichever is required. uh, Again, another big thing which is in the talks is about the ESG, environmental, social, and governance practices. Because there are many investors nowadays who want to invest only in ESG. So how does it impact the accountant? Accountants are not responsible for environment, social, and governance, but they are responsible for reporting. So there are usually now increased reporting requirements on ESG. So that also is going to come up to the financial controllers or CFOs or accountants to be able to gather the data about the ESG and report it. So there are global powers, they are being committed to carbon neutral or even negative footprint. So they are also expected to have a socially responsible behavior and the transparency. So there are a lot of requirements for the reporting, right? And the SEC or the financial reporting bodies are creating the standards and the processes for the reporting to standardize the reporting over the ESG. So you have to be aware of those things and prepare your accounting processes, prepare your financial data collection processes to be able to report those environmental impacts, carbon footprints, social responsible behavior, and governance issues. And then the lastly is the convergence with the IFRS. The entire world is now getting more and more, is adopting more and more on IFRS, even though there are local differences with the IFRS, but more like 80%, 90%, they are in line with IFRS. So there's a lot of convergence which is happening. So you may also have to be required to update your financial reporting processes into IFRS. So and then, but the problem with the companies with the multiple locations have to face that they have to comply with the local regulations as well, and it may require them to have multiple changes for the international consolidation, especially when it comes to foreign exchange or differences in accounting practices that are happening between the global standards and the local standards. So that again is require accountants to be more careful and more vigilant on the changes in IFRS. Then the last thing is the outsourcing or gig economy. So there are now you will see rise of Upwork, Fiverr, or working from home freelancers that can do small things, right? So nowadays there are a lot of there are a lot of companies who are hiring not a full-time CFO but a part-time CFO, not a full-time accountant but a part-time accountant to do base things, right? To do required things. They may hire them for the last 4 5 days of the month just to prepare the accounting entries and prepare the financial statements. They may not hire an accountant for all the things. So the gig economy is there and is expected to grow. So accountants or accounting industry can take the benefit of those gig economy by outsourcing some of the jobs to these gig economy, which is cheaper in a way and faster, and you get a lot of expertise without having to pay for them for all of them at the same time, right? So you could pay for like pay as you go service. So you want an expertise, you go to the platform, you hire them and pay them as your job done, and you are good. So accounting staff and CFOs are actually using gig freelancers for many of these tasks, uh, for the compliances, for the converging of IFRS, for the reporting requirements, for financial models, for creating the business models, and there are a lot of other things which are also required to be done in order to get these things done. So that's pretty much all the changes that we have that there are there or coming in the way of accounting.